This is the original Quake run Xbox Series X, and we're getting a number of different options. First off, we've got a single player with a bunch of different options when it comes to both difficulty and the map that you choose to play. Then there's multiplayer with local play, where you can actually play with bots if you'd like to. And of course, just play locally with others. There's 4-player local split-screen action. On top of that, we've got online play, quick matchmaking, but I suggest doing the match browser because it's a little bit easier to pick matches. And yes, you can play both death matches with up to 8 players online with crossplay, or you can do just the cooperative campaign with other people, though the achievements are set for single-player experiences, which is a bit disappointing. There's also add-ons, which has Quake 64, and I think they're going to add other ones over time, because you got to keep in mind this game is not optimized yet, and apparently they are going to be doing that in the future. They're going to be doing an optimization that will provide, well, basically a higher frame rate option. This all selects the normal skill. Okay. Let's do it. So anyways, we're jumping into Quake here. As you can see at the beginning there's a number of different level options and different ways to play. And this game is fantastic. We're getting up to 4K resolution at 60 FPS. The optimization that is supposed to drop in the future is to provide native 4K at 120 FPS. So I guess we gotta stay tuned for that one, and I will of course have an updated video going over that as well. So when it comes to movement in the game, a lot of movement in Quake is about, jumping to different places. And you can do that in a number of different ways. You could use the A button, but I suggest using LT plus RT. So LT allows you to jump, and then RT allows you to shoot. So it's kind of a little bit better of a combo than using A and RT to jump. At least in my opinion, it feels a little bit better movement-wise. And yeah, Quake is fantastic. It's got multiple inputs. It's a Xbox Play Anywhere title. It's got smart delivery and blah, blah, blah. So it's got all the features because this is a first-party title. This is a Bethesda game. It's now part of the Xbox family. And it's kind of cool that this is available and presented with some nice little, upgrades and whatnot here or there to make it look really, really cool. But if you are tired... sorry, just trying to get out of the water here. Oh, well, we can grab the 9-inch nails. Sorry, I just got to get back onto the land. I don't know why I'm having trouble. There we go. But if you're tired of these new visuals, you can go to the display, and you can turn that resolution all the way down. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's right. You can have, like, this really low resolution environment if you want to have some, like, retro playstyle. I mean, it's kind of neat from like an aesthetic style, just to like try this out and see what it looks like. I mean, for me, it's not really my type of thing, but if you want to play like this, you can see what it used to really kind of look like, I guess, to a degree. Keeping in mind that newer visual style really has cleaned up things nicely. And it wouldn't be Quake without a variety of different weapons and tools and ways to annihilate everyone around you. But yeah, I do suggest actually having the resolution on. Let's actually pop up the anti-aliasing too, just get that smooth picture style here. But anyways, I am kind of really excited about that optimization update that's supposed to be coming in the near future. So seriously, stay tuned for that one, because I will definitely be checking it out, because this game is a blast. I've also turned off the music because it's got that original 9-inch nails soundtrack that got me like a ton of copyright issue things on my stream that I did for this game. Yeah, there's a whole multiplayer stream up there on the channel. I mean, I don't get anything off of it because of the copyright things, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, so keep that in mind, that you can actually enjoy that original soundtrack in the game that seems to run for hours. I had never gotten a copyright musical thing that lasted for an hour and a half, I think it was. I was like, holy, that's kind of crazy. And then there's like a weapon wheel. If you hold RB, you can do this like whole weapon wheel thing, which is pretty cool. I mentioned the split screen, which is pretty neat. The game in general is just a ton of fun. I guess it's got PC gamepad support, but I don't know if that's only on the actual PC side of things, because it is a Play Anywhere title, but I wouldn't imagine that they would lock you out of this one. So that's something cool to keep in mind. But yeah, it just feels really good. It feels really fun to play. I think it's a very well done experience that offers a lot of content that you can enjoy. and it's just like really, really fast paced. It's quite action packed. Goes for health. Oh, stop shooting at me. And then there's neat level design where it's kind of like, you know, you move through the levels pretty fast if you'd like to. There's lots of distinct enemies and different things you can grab, different weapons you can have, different scenarios for you to work through. And again, you could do this like by yourself, or you can pop in some friends. That's kind of cool to me to be able to do that. You know, to be able to have some friends with me. And ow, my health is like not looking so good. It's almost like I should drop down and get some health or something like that, where I can do some more shield. Although my health, oh, there we go, we got some health stuff. I mean, this is the initial level thing on like normal, so it's not a big deal, but yeah, I don't want to embarrassingly die. Anyways, it's quite gnarly. It's pretty gory. Like, people can like blow up into like old style gob bits, but at the same time, I would think that anyone could play this because it is still sort of like visually silly, if that makes sense. Like, it's, you know, it's definitely not a modern title in regards to the visceral style of it. I mean, it's definitely got like a retro thing to it, but yeah, no, I actually really do love this. This is a lot of fun. This game offers a lot of content and a lot of engaging ways to play it. And we're not just going to show off the campaign. I just wanted to start off by showing off the campaign because I thought that was kind of an important thing for people kind of looking at Quake and being like, oh, is this like the original experience? And you'd be like, yeah, it is. But there's also more past that. Double barrel, which is kind of cool. I don't know, it's just kind of a fun, really gnarly, weird, strange game that is intense and fast-paced and filled with different threats and stuff. And it's kind of cool. It's like, you know, it's very similar to Doom if you've played Doom, but at the same time, it's very much its own sort of thing. It's got like this sort of like knight aesthetic to it because you're like this ranger and whatnot. And I think this is basically a precursor to them doing like a reboot or something down the line of the franchise. I believe, you know, that this isn't quite the end of Quake, basically just the beginning of getting this series back in action, which I think is kind of neat. And yeah, I can't actually just wait for that. It's going to be so cool to be able to see what they re-envision this franchise as, because, oh wow, I can't believe I actually got killed there. Can't wait to see what they re-envision this franchise as, because I think there's so much potential for them to do like anything with it, while still possibly being on brand with Quake in general. So that's kind of cool. And they got these like werewolf type things, they're crazy. And there's like these bigger like boss type monster things you come across too, which are kind of crazy. It's a little nuts, but you're going for like these crazy environments doing all this battling and whatnot, and it feels great, feels smooth, it really is quite nice. I mean, I have a lot of fun with this. I think it's really cool to experience Quake, because I've played like Quake Champions is kind of my experience. I wonder if we can actually go down there. Quake Champions is kind of like my most recent experience, aside from I did do Quake RTX, Quake 2 RTX, so that was kind of really cool to see the Quake with the ray tracing and whatnot on the PC. And they did add Quake 2 and 3 to Game Pass for PC only. And I'm thinking I might do something video-wise with those, so stay tuned on that, because that might be a fun experience as well, to see what those are looking like and see those in action. But yeah, it's just kind of this really intense, sort of gritty type experience that I think is a lot of fun. Lots of different weapons, lots of different experiences to have, things to face off against, but it just has this like really unique style. Because like I said, you know, you might be getting some Doom vibes, but it really is its own thing. You know, it really is its own type of game, just like, you know, the other ones from back in the day, like Turok, or I guess you could say maybe Unreal Tournament and whatnot. All those like old style like 3D shooter things that kind of kicked off this genre, but I think this one does definitely hold eternal as being very unique. Oh, come on, this thing is in this room? I do not remember going up against this thing. Anyways, lots of hidden secrets to find too. New things you might experience each time you go through it, new enemies, new different rooms, different settings. I think that's also part of the fun of it, is like, you know, you never know what you're going to come across. There's always different scenarios, and it's like, uh-oh. And I mean, if you played the game back in the day, you're probably like very familiar with everything here, but it is like a chunky amount of gameplay. Like there is a lot you can do in this one. So we gotta get the gold key. Which way did we go last time? We went the other way, I think, right? Like this is where we came from. It's like a labyrinth almost sometimes. Ow. Shooting at me from over there. Well, this is not a good scenario. Die, chainsaw guy. But yeah, it's just a blast. Oh, this is a secret area. Oh, then we can go through the portal into the void. I thought that would be more interesting for void movement and whatnot. Anyways, I really, really like what this one has to offer. I think it's really, really cool. And again, the element of, like, you know, basically sitting here playing it by yourself is cool. But then you can play this with others. If you want to experience it with other people, you can go ahead and do that. You can have fun with it. You can do different difficulties. You can really challenge yourself. Or you could be more easygoing. It's entirely up to you and how you want to play this Quake game that I think is, to me, personally quite fantastic. I think it's a really neat experience, this dog thing, werewolf monster thing. Just crazy. Yeah, but your ranger, like I mentioned, a warrior armed with a powerful arsenal of weapons, fighting corrupted knights, deformed ogres, and an island of twisted monsters. That sounds about right. Oh wait, we actually did want to go up there, my bad. But it's cool how everything like ropes around, and you just keep getting like going flying, and it's very hectic too. And we haven't even talked about something that I really, really like, and we're going to be switching over to that in a sec, because I wanted to show that off. Where are we going this way? Oh yeah, you got to click that, and you get one of the golden keys. It's one of those games where like keys are kind of important. Can we actually... It's in the water area here. This is really cool, because this game uses water a lot, and there's not many titles that I know of, like FPS-wise, that actually, you know, take advantage of water areas in their games. So let's switch over. We're going to go do the multiplayer, because I think that's a lot of fun. We're just going to join a match here, the Tower of Despair. So you can just join in with others, like I mentioned. Sometimes it does that. And there's crossplay. So it's like, you know, you always find, or usually find, full lobbies and whatnot that you could play with, which is pretty cool. And they've got just a ton of different maps, and just like that, you're instantly in the multiplayer, and you're just competing with others, and you can see, like, everybody's there. People can talk with, like, text messages to one another, you can do in-game voice chat. It's really cool. It's a really refreshed experience. I wish the Doom-type titles had this option as well, the remasters they did for those ones, because, you know, it's really quite nice to, oh crap, to be here competing with others and just having a fun time. And there's different options that I'll show off in a sec here once I die. Where did this guy run off to? Because this is like blazing fast. Like you die and then you're like immediately back in the fight, shooting people again and fighting to the death. It's crazy. Like you literally just start out like sprinting. You know, you can just keep going like that. But there's an options area where you can do multiplayer settings, and you can change the color of your character, and you can do adjustments like audio and that. Because I was streaming out, obviously I have everything for like voice chat and whatnot turned off, because you know how things are. Anyways, yeah, no, this multiplayer is super awesome. It's a lot of fun to play. I literally just sat here the other night and I played like, I think at least a few hours of this just on a stream, and I was just having a great time with it. There was a lot of like nostalgia in the lobby too. There was a lot of people that had never played Quake and they never heard of it before, and then B, there was a lot of people where they're like, I played this like pre-Windows and whatnot, and I was just like, there was a pre-Windows? Just kidding. But you know what I mean. It's just, it's really, really cool how these old experiences allow new generations to like see this for the first time, see this game, see what it has to offer. And I definitely do, you know, if you're an old-time Quake fan, suggest being as friendly as possible so that, you know, we can continue to enjoy this game into the future and have other people, you know, potentially look at this for the first time and get into what Quake has to offer. Oh, we don't want to go into the lava again. And this is like the old day of multiplayer maps. So it's like literally anything goes for some of the levels. Like there's points where you literally like can spawn on like lava or go through a teleporter and go into lava based on like if somebody clicked like a switch and this like lava area is down, or if the lava area happens to be down. It's kind of nuts, and you like spawn on top of people and whatnot, and it's just kind of funny because that's, you know, that's just the experience, right? It's got like this classic sort of style to it where they were, to me, I kind of read it as they were experimenting with the early days of multiplayer, right? These are like when maps were new and people, not many people could play this. It was like, you know, it's like a PC type thing, right? And I think they played it for quite a while. At least I think there's still fans that play the original Quake today. But you know what I'm saying is this was like an experimental time in multiplayer gaming. They, you know, you didn't know what really good map design was. You didn't know what specific designs were and what expectations were for people. You just kind of made something that you thought might be fun for people, and they went out and they enjoyed it. And this game is loaded with maps. There are so many levels in this one. Like, you could play like all night and be like, wow, I'm still coming across new maps. That's kind of nuts. It's kind of a little bit weird. But yeah, that's totally cool, right? Like there's so much content in this one, and it seems just like loaded with things. And I hope because of that experience where they are looking at basically you know, doing those add-ons and stuff, and then doing optimization for this, that the game continues to expand further, because I think, you know, we're not quite done yet seeing more of what this has to offer, because this is really, really cool. And if you're just discovering this, I think you might have a lot of fun, even if you don't want to play the campaign, just going in and competing in the multiplayer, because this is, you know, to me, quite a riot. It's just hilariously ridiculous and over the top and fast-paced, and every map is just like crazy mayhem, and you never know what's going to happen as you're just like facing off against these other people. And it seems like there's just like a ton of nostalgia for this. Like really, really, in the lobbies, people are like, I forgot how fun this was, and this was never this fast, or whatnot. And, you know, I think that's kind of a really nice experience, and I hope I get to experience that too, maybe for some games later on down the road, just being like, hey, you know, when I played this back in the day, it was like this and whatnot. And I think that's going to be something really to treasure, and it's cool that people get to relive this with actual people to compete against, and, you know, finding lobbies easily now, at least for now. I think that's really neat. And I do think you should give this a try, whether you, like, you know, are a fan of old school type shooters and whatnot. I think you'll find value in this, and if you want to play the campaign, I think it's really neat. I think it offers like a ton of content. You can sit there and you can play that campaign for like a very, very long time. Like there is a lot of beefiness in that campaign, which is exciting. Oh no, that's not good. Fix your mic. I don't have to deal with that because I got the audio off. Yeah. Anyways, it's just crazy, and then like all the grunts and stuff is pretty funny too. It's like I don't know. I really do find this to be quite enjoyable. I think I wanted to show off like a couple of matches. Oh wow, they have 90 points left. And I'm going to find a different lobby because I want to basically show off a different map. I didn't realize that was like a 90-minute sort of never-ending play on that map. It's kind of crazy. Place of 2 deaths. Let's do it. I think this is different. No, that's the same one. Sorry, there's so many maps. I haven't bothered really learning the names of them. Place of 2 deaths. Let's see. This is Stin. I think that one's kind of cool from what I remember. Again, like still trying to figure out all the different map names. Oh, here we go. This actually is a really cool map. I do like this one quite a bit. And the map ends. Oh, it is the same. No, that's just the messaging continuing from another previous lobby. You know, anyways, you're in this thing, and that's where people kind of select stuff, unless you do the quick matchmaking. But I do suggest the browser play, just for a little bit easier action. And, yeah, so we talked about curated, free fan-made mods and add-ons, crossplay, which is really nice. If you're on the Xbox Cloud Gaming, you can kind of experience it that way, which is cool as well. Oh, yeah, here we go. This will be fun. Ow. It's like get blasted right off the bat. But that's the neat part of the map, or the maps in general in multiplayer, is they're always very distinct. And I mean, I don't even know if this way quite shows off just the variety of the different levels that are present in the multiplayer. Like, seriously, there's points where there's, like, lava everywhere, there's, like, maps that have, like, water included in them. It's kind of wild, and you never know exactly what you're going to get gameplay-wise. It's always, like, something different, especially if this is, like, your first time playing this game. You're just going to be like, holy, there's a lot of variety here and a lot of crazy mayhem. And it's just wild. It's very over the top. I don't know. It's quite a lot of fun. And it would be really neat if they could, you know, maybe continue to add to this, like they mentioned with add-ons, or if, you know, there's some kind of way that they could continue the style of it. I really would have liked Quake Champions to arrive on, you know, on Xbox or something like that, because I think it's basically dead now, that one. I'm not too sure. But I did quite enjoy that, and I thought it was a nice little upgrade. And, yeah, I just thought it, you know, now with it under the Xbox brand, that maybe they could revitalize that type of thing, because it's got that old school feel, or maybe add more to this one over time or something like that. I don't know. I definitely want to play more Quake, though, after playing this. I'm just, like, kind of hyped up to it, even past the degree of playing, like, Quake 2 RTX. Because that one was more about, you know, basically just seeing the visuals. It wasn't necessarily, hey, I'm going through this like journey of experiencing it and reviewing it. It was more like, hey, this is what ray tracing looks like. And it was really cool for the ray tracing. I highly suggest that. I got a video on the channel where I talk about, you know, the RTX on Quake 2. It is quite miraculous, actually. It is quite a beautiful showcase of the visuals, that's for sure. I was just like, whew, because they really redid that one. I'm just doing terrible this match, which is not good. Oh, that's why. I think I'm probably the only person on Xbox. Not necessarily too even for me, but yeah, some people are also just really good at this game. I've noticed, well, some of them never stop playing, I guess would be the big thing. But you can still have fun with it. Like, I mean, even if I'm getting slaughtered, I'm still having a good time running around and shooting things. Holy, am I dying. My ping's also insanely high for some reason, which I am not enjoying. But anyways, that's Quake. You know, the original Quake. We'll be back to talk about the optimized version of the game when that update drops, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, it should be great. If you need more Quake action, I did do a whole live stream like I mentioned. You know, just keep in mind that doesn't really benefit me to any degree, but you know, it's cool if you want to experience what this has to offer.